Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
I'm scared. Watch the safety creep. 61. Matchbox light.
And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you, that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Push him back. Push him back. 58 to Mike. 58.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Yellow. Attack. Got to do better.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a first down following a gain of 3. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
They're usually loud and big. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That'll be complete to Cook. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
from the 38. Mahomes. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On the draw, here's Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Cook. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Here we go. 30 base. Go.
Check right. Watching your five. Better bring it.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that'll be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this one is no good. He missed it, but there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now, to be frank, a silly penalty there trying to block the field goal, and that leads to a fresh set of downs. Cook following the penalty. Now, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Ready. 18 Gator. Chopper.
On 2nd down, it's Cook, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. He'll look to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Mahomes. This complete to Jones. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Mike 22, Mike 22. Target.
Yellow.
22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, So does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And Diggs has it. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Ready? 70, Indy. Two.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a second and long.
Here we go. 60 or. Ready?
Second and 15. Open here, Adam Thielen. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He'll dump this off to Cook. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
I'm coming. 54.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Hey, keep it up.
Second half will start with a run by Sanders. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Kill.
They'll go again with Sanders. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
Yellow. Left.
Watch QB drop. Check. Lucky.
Mahomes now to throw. But it's brought in by Washington. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On first down, Mahomes. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Go. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Get it.
2nd and 10. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
They'll run on first down. Sanders trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up a 4th down. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became...
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 26. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Got it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around? Stephon Diggs, the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line.
25, check 25, check 25.
Check, 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 check.
Running right, here's Sanders. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Mahomes caught by Nelson.
A gain of 10 yards.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On 1st down, it's Sanders. Credit the tackle to Jalen Holmes.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Another run with Sanders. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run it here. This is James White. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Hey, let's go!
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Hey, high 7.
2nd and 1. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hey, lock it. Hey, rough it up.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going deep for Dick. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 33. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now Sanders, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Attack, attack!
Here we go.
54
Delta.
Check.
Mahomes going to throw it here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Stephon Tuitt. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They're going to look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Mike's 54. Mike's 50.
Recon, 132 fighter. Watch the run.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here's Bradley Pinion now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Vikings take over 1st down at their own 34-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over.
And now here is another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Steelers, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.